Greetings, YouTube. A common tactic I hear amongst the bigots of the internet, whenever any kind of a topic comes up, is that they will then say, "Well, we shouldn't be worrying about people X because we're not worrying about people Y," and people Y are almost always white people. They're like, "We can't worry about those minority folks. We have to worry about this." Now, they only mention worrying about the white people when they want us to not worry about a minority group. When there are no minority groups in discussion, they just ignore the white people who are suffering because they just don't care. They're just a bargaining chip in their argument against the minority groups. And the latest example has been the children at our U.S. borders that have been ripped away from their parents, essentially kidnapped by the U.S. government, scattered across the continent. In some cases, we don't know where they are anymore because the records were not kept properly or they were destroyed. It says, and they're saying, "Well, you're worried about those migrant kids. Why aren't you worried about homeless kids in America?" Well, here's a shocking concept. You might want to sit down. I, and many other people, are capable of thinking about more than one thing at a time. Maybe you can't. Maybe the bigots of the world are only able to put their laser-like focus on one horrible thing at the moment. But I can be concerned about more than one thing. Heck, I can be concerned about many things all at once. So I can be concerned about homeless children in America and their families, as well as the U.S. government kidnapping brown kids and then scattering them to the four winds. All as an attempt to threaten people that might want to come to America to seek asylum. And I should like to point out that seeking asylum, that's a form of legal migration. And to say that these people are the same as people that are breaking the law with the intent of coming to the country without seeking asylum, they're not refugees, is horrible. Remember, those asylum seekers are coming to America because their countries have violence and corruption, a lot of the time help that was created by us, the American people. Our government screwing with their nations and us consuming the drugs that the drug cartels want to sell us. So we have our fingers in that horrible pie all over the place. So maybe we should take in the refugees and the asylum seekers because we created the situation that they are running from. But right now, the thing is, these bigots are all concerned about white homeless people, and again, they have never been concerned about them before, just now. But I can be concerned about both the kidnapped children and the homeless white people. Yes, I can. And many progressives can do it as well. Maybe the conservative mind is a little more rigid. Maybe the conservative mind isn't capable of having the mental flexibility that allows us to think about more than one thing at a time. But I can do it. And many people I know can do it. And we can be concerned about white kids and brown kids and every other color of the rainbow. We can be concerned about straight kids and gay kids and trans kids, Christian kids, Muslim kids, Buddhist kids, Sikh kids. We can be concerned about all of them, all at the same time. It's a radical concept. And the more you practice this process, the better you get at it. Except social conservatives and political conservatives in America deride the characteristics of empathy, sympathy, and compassion. Unless, of course, they're applied to white people, but only when you're discussing how we can crush minorities. Because other than that, they don't want anything to do with those disadvantaged white folks. They'll deride them for having bad choices or being ignorant or being drug addicts. They'll come up with some excuse to ignore them. But then some minority group will be trying to actually get some rights. And then the conservatives will come forward and start talking about the disadvantaged white people, who will be quickly forgotten once the minority issue has faded from the news cycle. So tell me in the comments below, are you capable of understanding more than one thing at a time? Are you capable about being concerned about more than one thing at a time? I'd like to know.